Have you ever seen someone who used to have a beautiful full hairline, but now their forehead is slowly entering the middle of their head? Every year, the hairline keeps taking a small step backward, like it is running away from some responsibilities. My sister, that is not genetics. That is called traction alopecia, the disappearing hairline. But before we go deep, hi, my name is Sahida, your Ijabi trichologist, and you are welcome to day 4 of our hair education series, where we unlearn the myths and relearn the truth about your hair and scalp. Now, let me quickly say this before we go deeper. Not every receding hairline is traction alopecia. Some hairlines go backward because of another condition called frontal fibrosing alopecia. This is more inflammatory and sometimes it can be linked to the immune system. We will talk about that later in this series, inshallah. But today, let us focus on traction alopecia, the one caused by your own hands or your hairstylists. Some of us have been fighting our hairline since primary school. You know those days when your auntie or stylist would hold your head in between her knees and say, sit still before I whip your bum. Meanwhile, you are in excruciating pains. That is where it all started. Traction alopecia simply means hair loss caused by pulling. When your hairstyles are too tight or too long, the constant tension weakens your hair follicles. Hair follicles are those tiny pockets under your scalp where your hair grows from. At first, you might just feel tenderness or see small bumps around your edges. But if it continues, the follicle starts to shrink and eventually stop producing hair altogether. Scientifically speaking, when you keep pulling your hair, you are actually cutting off blood supply to the follicles. And without enough oxygen and nutrients, the follicles become weak. The constant pressure causes inflammation. And over time, that inflammation scars the follicles permanently. And once the follicle is scarred, no new growth can happen again. That is when people start saying, oh, my hairline just disappeared overnight. No, sis, it didn't vanish overnight. It's been slowly crying for help. Some people, their hairlines are forgiving and merciful, that despite the trauma, the edges keeps growing back as long as there is no scarring. From their genetics, they have full edges. And for some of us, our edges are not forgiving at all. So we always need to be extra careful. Now, the good news is that if you catch it early, you can still save it. That is when the follicles isn't scarred yet. It is just shocked, you know. You might see thin, short hair trying to grow back. In that stage, if you stop tight hairstyles, avoid glue on your edges, massage your scalp gently to improve blood circulation, no bleach, no relaxer around your hairline, you can still restore it. But if it has been years of constant pulling and the area looks smooth and shiny, take note of that, smooth and shiny, that usually means that the follicles are gone for good. Listen, no hairstyle is worth a permanent bald spot. Beauty should never cost you your edges. Once again, I am Sahida, your Ijabi trichologist. See you.